In today's video, we're going to be adding a brand new pair of fish to the lagoon, but before they go in, they're going to be going through a safety stop rapid fish quarantine. Let's check it out. What's going on, reefers? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Blaine. This is the King Tide Corals channel. Today we're going to be talking about a product I've been wanting to test for quite some time. This Safety Stop Rapid Fish Quarantine is a 2-bath method that allows you to minimize the outbreak of external parasites, bacterial, or fungal infections. Now quickly, I'm going to say this is no means a full quarantine process. This is not a full quarantine. But what this is it's a nice method for you to be able to do something for your new additions, whether or not you're able to do a full quarantine or not. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the full process of doing this rapid fish quarantine. We're gonna talk about how I feel, how the fish went through it, and we're gonna see how things all went down. Let's go ahead and jump into it, talk a little bit more about the rapid fish quarantine. Made by Blue Life USA, Safety Stop is a simple and effective way to protect your saltwater and freshwater aquarium fish from serious unwanted disease outbreaks caused by either external parasites, bacteria, or maybe fungal infections. Now I'm going to say this real quick though, this is not made for inverts. I am though really excited to finally try out Safety Stop Rapid Fish Quarantine myself and see how it works on these fish. Now let's talk about why I'm doing this in the first place. The Hellfreaky foursome that I got one of my previous videos have been sitting in this holding tank, and I've been getting them happy and healthy. Now after they started eating, I started to realize that the two dominant Hellfreaky in the tank created a pair, and they began beating up on the other two. I needed to get them separated, and I wanted to get that nice pair into the lagoon since that was kind of the plan from the start, but I wanted to try and do something first before adding them in. And that's when I realized I could try and use Safety Stop Rapid Fish Quarantine and share my experience with you guys. Now, after I caught the pair, I wanted to snag some pre-made saltwater on my way inside to begin the transfer. Also, not to mention, I may be able to get another pair out of this situation with the two remaining Hellfreaky in holding. Here are the two remaining Hellfreaky, and hoping to be able to get another pair out of these guys. They're going to stay in this holding tank for the time remaining, and still hoping to maybe put them through a full quarantine.
I have these guys in the sun, the natural sunlight, and wow, the colors are crazy. I mean, just such amazing coloring out of the two of these Hellfreaky. They're really good looking fish. I'm not super worried about anything pest-wise with them. You know, I've had them, I've seen them for a while. They don't seem to be sick in any way, but they're just beaten up on the other two. So I got to get them out. I got to get them in the lagoon. But we're going to go ahead and put them through that rapid fish quarantine, see how that is, give it a try ourselves. But just wanted to quickly show you guys just how good these look in the natural sunlight, just in this bucket. So really excited to get them into the lagoon. Let's go ahead and talk about all the things we're going to need for this rapid fish quarantine. So I recently snagged this 1-gallon pitcher. I think it's going to be really nice to have because it's going to give us exact measurements, which are really much essential for the quantities that are within this little package here. 1 gallon measures out exactly to those baths each, so it's going to be perfect to use that pitcher. I got these little 2-gallon pails from Walmart. They're white, so that way we can be able to see the bath color a little bit better, and everything's just easier to see, the fish included. So really excited about that. I have a net to be able to scoop up the fish, and also very important, I have a bubbler back there. It's going to be a really plug-in power one, so that way I have the most oxygen going through this bath. It's really important to make sure you oxygenate the water throughout your blue bath. That's going to be the most important to oxygenate. We're going to talk about that here soon, but just wanted to show you guys real quick all the things we're going to be using here while we get our new fish into the lagoon. Part A is the first bath that you'll be using in the Safety Stop Rapid Fish QT. The Part A solution is made out of formalin, so we'll want to make sure we keep this water nice and oxygenated. Now we'll go ahead and add this into the 1 gallon of salt water we have in our bucket. I have these buckets on top of towels as well to make sure we can maintain temperature throughout the course of the baths. We'll go ahead, get all the solution in, mix it up real good, and then go ahead, grab our fish.
Now let's go ahead and snag our 2 fish and get them into our first bath. Now, once we add them directly into the bath, we want to make sure we start the timer and count down 45 minutes till we move them over into part B. Once I've added my fish to the solution, I want to make sure that I'm periodically checking in on the fish throughout the bath to make sure they're doing well and that they're not having a bunch of stress and they need to be pulled early. Now that the first bath is almost over, I headed outside back again to grab another round of 1 gallon of freshly made salt water for the upcoming second bath. Part B consists of a methylene blue. This is a solution that we'll be utilizing for another 45-minute long bath. But of course, you want to make sure that if you're seeing any odd behavior or stress from the fish during this bath, you can pull them early so that there's no extra harm done. Now I'm going to add this solution in, the Part B solution, and then I'm going to make sure I stir it up once again to ensure that I'm getting everything mixed around. One thing I wanted to mention, I'm going to be adding an air stone in early to pre-oxygenate the upcoming bath, and I also wanted to make sure I had 2 air stones running at this time because I want to make sure I give extra oxygen for this last bath just in case anything's going on with the fish. Now that the timer has hit 45 minutes, I went ahead and grabbed the Health Freaky out of Part A, and we're going to be moving them directly over to Part B. So let's go ahead and catch these guys and get them into our second bath and immediately start the timer for another 45-minute long bath. Once again, I want to make sure I'm periodically checking on the fish throughout the bath. These guys seem to do really well throughout both the 45-minute long baths. One thing I'll do when I net these fish out from the bath, I'll dip the net into this fresh salt water to kind of clean it off. Now that we'll be adding the fish to the lagoon, real quick tip for any reefer adding new additions to your system. Make sure your fish are well fed. I want to make sure they're not hungry whenever I add in anything new to the tank to help minimize any kind of aggression right off the start. We don't want anybody to be hangry before we add in some new fish. Another thing you can do is turn off the lights. This can kind of help minimize any sight and seeing these new additions so you can kind of allow them to kind of get into the tank. But let's go ahead and work on getting our Health Freaky pair into the lagoon. The time has come. Let's go ahead and get these fish into the lagoon and see how they look and give you guys some shots of what they look like in the system.
The next day.
It's the next morning, and I wanted to check in real quick to see how the Health Freaky had fared through the night, and to my surprise, they're out and about and swimming around. I'm really excited to report I haven't seen a ton of aggression from the clownfish to these fish, so things are looking good after one night of being in the lagoon.
Several days later.
Real quick, wanted to share with you all how the tank was looking and give you all an update of what's been going on with the Health Freaky. They've been in here for about a week or so now, and they're looking really great. They kind of hang out here in the back. They've been nesting up in this codium. There's the second one that just popped out, but they look really, really good. I'm loving the colors of these guys. They're a really nice addition of purple and pink and yellow in the tank, so loving that. But overall though, the lagoon looking really good. Loving how things have been going. So the addition of new fish has went well, and seemingly it looks like no huge issues when it comes to any kind of parasites or things like that. So knock on wood, but really liking how that Safety Stop Rapid Fish Quarantine worked out for me in this situation. Now we've gotten the chance to add the Health Freaky pair to the lagoon. I'm loving the way they look, and it was really fun to try out this Safety Stop Rapid Fish Quarantine with you guys. I'm curious to hear down in the comments below what you guys think of this method, if you've tried it yourself, or if you guys are gonna stick to what you do in the future. Thank you so much guys for tuning in and watching all the way through. Real quick, wanted to say I added a red Linkia starfish to the lagoon. This has been one of my favorite new additions in the recent couple of weeks. I added it about a month ago, I guess, and it's been doing really well. and ever since it's been a really fun splash of color. If you guys are following me on Instagram, you would have seen the little addition reel I made to the tank, so be sure to follow me there to get a lot more updates. Thank you again, guys, for checking out this video, and until next time, happy reefing.